This is weird. It's night time.
Hello, yes, it is weird. It's night time.
What day is it? Monday.
Monday night.
Monday the 6th of March. Welcome to March. Ooh, I could have a topic.
Oh, yeah?
It's 11 degrees here.
Yes.
It was 38 degrees today in Sydney. Because I had a video call with someone in Sydney, and the first thing she said to me was, "Are you wearing a jumper?" And I went, "Yeah, it's fucking cold here." I said, "Why? What's it there?" She said, "It's 38 degrees here. The kids are swimming in the pool. They didn't go to school today. It was too hot."
Too hot?
Yeah, I think they're teenagers, so I think they've skipped school and she's allowed it.
Oh, right. So back in our day, it was 42 degrees was the magical number.
Oh, yeah, no. It was just them deciding not to go to school. Because I went, "Isn't it a school day?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's too hot." Anywho. So.
That's a start. So, yes, even though we're due for a podcast, I thought I'll tell you this story online so we can get your response.
Oh, God.
So,
yeah.
Right, so whichever podcast it was a few ago where we talked about the car being damaged.
Oh, yeah.
So today one of my many jobs was to go and pick up the new wheel that they got, because the old wheel was damaged and they've replaced the wheel. So I went and picked it up. So I was a good boy. And I sent her an email and I said, "Now, is it all right for me to come and drop it in?" And she's like, "Yes, that's fine. Come in at 1:30 and that's fine." So I turned up at about around then. She said, "Come after 1:30." So I turn up around then.
Yeah.
I give them the car. They had one job.
Why did they need the car?
That's right. They had one job. All they had to do was fit the modern equivalent of a hubcap, like the tiny little central thing. They had to pop that in, and they had to take the new wheel and put it under the car.
Yep.
Right?
Oh, God, where's this going?
Oh, yeah. So that's all they had to do. They said, "Oh, it's going to take a while." And I said, "How long's a while?" And she said, "Oh, half an hour." And I just thought, look, the guy's busy or whatever.
I'm number 3 in line or something. Yeah,
fine. No problem.
I'll go to Macca's and get a coffee.
I went to Macca's and I got a coffee.
There you go. I'm psychic.
There's nothing else to do in South Launceston. Because I went out, I looked around, I literally looked left, I looked right, and I went...
Hungry Jack's or McDonald's?
Well, no, that's a hoof to Hungry Jack's, but it was McDonald's anyway. So I went and had a lovely flat white, skim milk. So it's very good. So anyway, I go back in about 40 minutes. I gave him a good while. So I go back, and she goes, "Yep, it's ready. Oh, it'll just be another couple of minutes." I said, "That's fine, no problem." She goes and gets the car, and she brings it out. I get in the car, and she goes, "Yep, fine, thanks. See you at the next when we do a service." Yeah. Okay. So I get in the car. She said to me as I was in the car, "Oh, we found a spare hubcap bit insert. It must have come upon the new wheel, and we've put it under the back seat for you." So it being a dual cab ute, there's like a back seat thing. Anyway, so I went, "Oh, okay." And I turn around and I noticed the back seat's down, like you can pull this thing down. So it's like, oh, okay, that's a bit shit. So I went and put that up. And I thought, while I'm here, just for shits and giggles, so I walked around. The hubcap bit was missing. Still. The plot is going to thicken. So the hubcap thing was missing. So I literally gave them, because I saw her in the other thing and I went like that to her.
And just point.
And I was expecting I do not respond to a man's finger, but so she comes and I went, "There's no fucking hubcap in that." And she went, oh, okay. Oh, I saw where he put it anyway, that's fine. I'll go and I'll get it for you and put it in. Oh, well, that makes sense. I didn't think we had an extra one, but anyway, right. So she goes, pulls this seat out. She fishes around underneath it, finds this hubcap. I don't know why they would put it there, and then pops it in. And I went, okay, no harm, no foul, bit weird, no problem. I put the seat back up myself, and I drive off. Now, dear listener, you'll remember that the reason why this car had all these problems was the wheel came off at 110 kilometres an hour while going to the airport, and hilarity ensued. The wheel was stuffed, the car was dented, all these other things. And another thing that we haven't talked about is I don't know if we mentioned that they weren't able to fix the car, the dent, and we've subsequently booked it in with someone else. Anyway, so I picked this car up and I'm driving along the road at 70 kilometres an hour and I get a phone call.
Oh, for fuck's sake, what?
I get a phone call from the head guy there.
Yeah.
And he said, "Are you driving the car?"
Fuck me dead.
And
yeah?
I said, "Yes, I am." He said, "Pull over immediately." And I pulled over and I went, "What?" And he says, "I don't know how to say this, but we haven't put the wheels back on properly."
Are you fucking kidding me?
You can't make this up. I wasn't even angry. I went, "So what happened?" And he said, "She's come and taken the car and he hadn't finished it, and so it went. So this explains why the hubcap bit wasn't back on the car."
Because he hadn't done up the wheels.
Well, he hadn't finished. That was on a different wheel. He just hadn't finished the job, and that's why the seat was down and all the rest. Like, you're still working on the car. So clearly this, lack of communication.
What do we get for free?
Quite a bit a lawsuit if I mention them. So I'm still talking to this guy.
Pulled over where on the side of the road? How far away?
Oh,
like minute?
Yeah. Oh no. Like 10 or 15 minutes.
Fuck.
Right. So anyway,
how many wheels weren't back on properly?
Well, it was just the one. So what had ended up happening, right? Where I said you had one job, they'd taken it upon themselves to put the wheel back on. Like rather the spare wheel that was on the back, rather than just putting it in the back. And this is when I said, when I went back to them, which is jumping ahead a little bit, I said, "Why'd you even do that?"
Okay. So anyway, so you get a phone call,
so I
pull over immediately, the wheels aren't on properly.
Yep. And then I'm talking to her and I go, "You're kidding." And she said, "No, she's taken it before he's finished the job, and I just had a mechanic run in
saying, where's the car? I haven't put the wheel back on properly." And he said, "So I'm calling you now." And he said, "I'm going to send someone straight to you and to the car right now." And I said, "Don't worry about it. I've got you on the phone. Let me go and have a look and make sure I've still got 5 wheel nuts." So I went out to the car and went, "Okay, I've still got 5 wheel nuts. Okay, this is fine." I said, "All right." I just said, unlike every mechanic that works for Beep in Tasmania, I can fucking do a wheel up properly. So I said, "This is what we're going to do. I'm going to nip up these wheels, these 5 lug nuts." Did you put your doodad in?
Well, it was still there.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, wrong car. I was going to say, our other car doesn't have, what's that called? Wheel brace.
A wheel brace.
Yeah,
no deal.
Yeah.
So I went and nipped it up, and then I said, "I'm going to bring this car back to you because you're going to be the last person that puts a spanner on this car. So I'm going to finish the job I'm doing now, and I'm going to go back there." So I jumped up. They weren't tight.
They weren't. No, because he was still working on it.
He was still working on it. They were finger tight.
Wow. Okay.
So I went back there, and I drilled him in, and all the rest of it. And the other thing that he said on the phone, he's saying, "She couldn't even ring you. The girl that's been working with you and just constantly screwing the pooch on this job." He said, "I'm ringing you. She couldn't even ring you." She said, "I can't ring this guy. I can't tell him that we haven't put the wheel back on properly."
It's your job. Nut up.
All of those things, of course. And he said, "I don't know what we're going to do to make you have
any kind of confidence in you whatsoever." Yeah.
And I just said, "Yeah, I don't know what you can do to do that either."
No.
So again, dear listener, we're between a rock and a hard place. We will have to take this car back.
Do you know what I'm going to do? Every single time we take it in there, we're going to be like, "Right, what did you touch on the car?" Because
I need to double check it.
Yep.
So when I went back, I saw her there.
And I'm going to take a piece of paper, I think, and it says, "Sign here."
Well,
you're taking full responsibility.
Well, what's going to happen for the rest of time is that, I want a full list of what you've touched. I'm going to check it. Any wheels that you've taken off, I'm going to check. I'm going to take the lug out and check them all because I don't trust you. No. I don't trust you at all. You're going to kill me.
Yeah.
So So when I took the car back, this woman came out and she went, "Thanks for bringing the car back." And I went, "No problem." And she went and took the car and took it around there, and I could hear it's a guy with a proper torque wrench.
Oh, okay.
So I saw a guy actually, because when they go, they click when you hear it. Because it got to the point where I said, "Just give me the torque. You bring the torque wrench out here.
I'll do it.
What's the Newton meter setting for it? I'll do it."
Yeah.
Because
I don't trust any of you.
fuck me sideways.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so I heard him do it properly. I went, "That's."
I would have walked around and gone, "I'm going to watch you do it."
Oh, I wasn't quite to
The
that
mechanic
point.
the mechanic knew that he hadn't finished the job. It's her fault.
It's completely her fault.
Yeah.
It's completely her fault.
Yeah.
So anyway, she did that, and I said, "Okay." So I said, "I'm not going to check the wheel nuts because I heard
The torque wrench.
the torque wrench. I'm assuming he did up the right wheel.
Fucking hell.
So I'll check them all tomorrow. I'm going to go around. I'm
Yeah.
going to walk around that with a wheel brace and check every nut on the wheels on that car." I got down on my hands and knees and I went, "Is the spare under there?"
Mm.
And
Because I
she
have
said,
no faith in
she
any
said,
of your shit.
I have no problem with you checking that. And I'm going, "Yeah."
I'm not asking.
Yeah. And so I checked that
Is it
and I
there?
looked at the thing and it was there. Because I was going to say, if the wheel wasn't there, I was just going to lose. I was going to throw the keys at her and say, "I want the money back for that car. And I want everything in it put in a box and shipped to this address."
Yeah.
Because I would have blown a fuse completely.
Yeah.
I just said, "No, you can," or I publish this and I guarantee you'll lose more than the value of that car in goodwill.
Otherwise, I'm going to trot down to Channel 7 right now
Yeah,
and I'm going to say, "Do you want a story?"
About this particular beep dealership that just kills,
Just keeps on giving.
just keeps trying to kill me. So yeah, so that was today. So like, unbelievable, completely unbelievable. It is the stuff of bad fiction. Like, why? How can you be that stupid? Like, the only way I can sort of try and rationalise it ever so slightly
I'm
is
gobsmacked.
that I was like, I wasn't even angry,
But it's laughable. Like, it's so bad it's laughable.
Yeah, like I literally had in my head one of the voices in my head just saying, well, what you would say to us, like, "I'm not angry with you. I'm beyond angry."
No.
Like, me being
Makes no
angry
difference.
isn't going to help the situation, which was what I was going to say. The only way I could rationalise it, again, finish your points, Bradley, is that she's so nervous with me, but she doesn't strike me as a nervous person. Young girl, but everybody, well, they're all young to me now. She's
in her
probably
20s.
mid-20s, right?
Yeah. And that's her job.
Of course. And I was sort of thinking, is she so nervous in dealing with me, and so trying to, he's back, I'll get the car for him. But like, it just didn't make any sense. The man that sewed me up, he didn't come out and see me.
The dealer principal.
Yeah, I don't think it was the dealer principal. I think it was the head of service.
Right.
But no one came, so he didn't even come out and see me.
Right, okay.
So he was very apologetic on the phone and very reasonable on the phone. But so anyway, so I'm going to get the car fixed properly, and then we're going to make sure it's all done, and then I'm going to provide them some feedback and give them an opportunity
To respond. Yeah, what free shit do I get?
I don't care about free shit.
Oh, I do.
I'd rather have her head on a stick.
That's what I mean. Is she getting
And
fired?
I'd rather have the guy that originally didn't do
Yeah. Who's getting
their
fired?
job. Like,
Someone
who's
needs
getting fired?
Someone
Who's
needs to
getting
get
fired?
Yeah.
Who's getting fired? Who's getting? I want a copy of the written warning that they've gotten.
Yeah. Both of them.
You're that
You're
firm.
endangering lives.
You nearly killed me twice.
Yeah.
So I'm going to wait. I'm just going to wait. I'm going to say,
Wow.
now the car's
Yeah.
actually fixed. Let's wait until it's
Cool.
all done, and then just say, let me give you some feedback, and then I will probably write also to the head of the
Beep.
brand
Yeah.
and say, so I'm not looking
so
for any.
FYI, this is what's
Yeah.
occurring in your Tasmanian branches.
Yeah. And if they can't fix the car satisfactorily, that's where I'm going to go back to and say, you need to make me whole.
Yeah.
I think this car's now worth, because it's got a dint in the back of it that apparently you can't fix. I think it's worth.
Or you need to allow me to take it to a mechanic that I trust and you pay for it, because I don't want anything to do with any of your shit.
Yeah. So,
I am the exception to the rule because it's still under warranty.
Yeah.
It's how many years warranty has it got?
7.
7 or something, yeah.
He's got years and years
That's
and years
what I
of
mean.
warranty,
So
years
it's
and
like,
years and years of
yeah, no. I'm not
servicing
taking
left.
it anywhere near these people. I'm going to go over here to the dude that I know can put wheels back on a car. Thanks very much. Mechanics 101.
Yeah. So again,
And the chick that understands that the wheels need to be on and finished
I don't
first.
think it's here. Take a pill.
That's yes. Multivitamin.
Yeah. Probably.
It is. I put it there
Okay.
because it's nearly winter time here.
So anyway, yeah, that's why I thought I'll tell you on the podcast.
Fuck off.
But like, you can't. It's the stuff.
Can't make it up.
It's the stuff of bad fiction. Like, imagine if the wheel had come off again. Because that's what I said to him when I was talking to him on the phone. I said, if that wheel had come off again, I would be thinking that someone is trying to kill me by removing the rear passenger wheel on one of my cars constantly and doing it under the cover of darkness, or in this case, in your service centre.
Yes.
But he's like saying, and he was like making jokes about, come in, we'll sort it out, the car's not being cursed. I said, no, the car's not cursed, you're all incompetent. Car's fine.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with the car.
No.
So,
The car's parts and they all fit together and they do a job. You don't do jobs at all.
yeah.
None of you.
So in a couple of weeks, this car goes to
Another person.
the dodgy dingo place to pull this dint out of it, and then I'll say, right, it appears that this car is back together, whole, and it appears
the wheels are on.
The wheels are on, and it's all good, and I've checked them, and then so I'm not asking for any, but that's what I say. I'm not asking for any free shit, but I would like maybe a note from your dealer principal saying that the people involved with this have been reprimanded.
Yes.
I don't want them fired necessarily. That's up to you.
Yes.
But that should be reprimanded, and that you're going to make sure that it was very serious.
And that never happens again.
And so the chances of it happening again, because it's already happened twice,
yes,
is less. Like,
how many cars go through there each day?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
how many far out?
Because how about I? Because
what about Nana who takes her car in and the wheel isn't on properly?
They die.
Jesus Christ.
Because again, if I want to be shitty about it, because otherwise, guys, if you can't do something if you really can't, like, I don't want any free shit.
No.
I don't want an act of contrition.
No.
I just want maybe an indication that, because I still have to send this car to be serviced with you. That's the only reason I give a shit. And then we do that. And I wouldn't
show me that you're professional and you understand.
Here's the opportunity now to be professional. Yeah. I don't want a chocolate bar.
No.
I don't want any free shit. Because
otherwise
I'm gonna, because if you don't take this seriously, well then how about I trot down to the courthouse and I make a statutory declaration of what I think occurred, and then I trot down to the newspaper with the stat deck and go, I reckon there's a story in this. There you go. Upon pain of perjury. That is what I think happened. And here are all the emails discussing it. So, because that's really shit. And or the other maybe slightly more grown up thing is, whatever, is there an MTA in
What's MTA?
Tasmania? I'm showing my age here. Motor Traders Association. That used to be that was the like association.
RACT, isn't it?
No. This was like the Associate Mechanics Association, the Motor Traders Association. If you were a mechanic.
Oh, MTAA?
I don't know.
Above the old buildings in town, I think there's one.
Maybe.
Motor Traders Association Australia, maybe.
Maybe. But anyway, that's where you could make a complaint and just go, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Because, I mean, all the bureaucrats
would get... Well, the first one was a mechanic, but the second one was the chick.
Yeah. And both times...
the process shouldn't be there that she can take the car.
Of course. But then I heard it, click, click, click 5 times, because I was counting.
Yeah.
And then I saw the mechanic go in and say, you can have the car now. So that's got to be the option. To say nothing else of this, here's a tip for your mechanics. Right, when you put a wheel back on a car, and you start the thread by hand, and then you rattle them on, Then you get your torque wrench. Doesn't even need to be a torque wrench. Even a
don't
wheel
step
brace.
away from the tyre until it's done.
Don't step away until it's done. And if you have to stop the job for whatever reason...
Put something there.
No.
You come and do it.
No. Take all the wheel nuts off,
Oh, okay.
take the wheel off and put it down again.
Yeah.
You don't walk away from the wheel
Half done.
unless it's put on properly.
Yeah.
Like, that is basic practice.
Wow.
With any kind of... Wow. Wow. So I said, I will keep my powder dry.
Yes.
We'll wait a couple of weeks. They'll think it's all blown over.
Yeah.
And then I'll say, okay, here's the thing, guys. I think you've tried to kill me. You've tried to kill me twice.
Yeah.
You need to show me. I need to show.
You're taking it seriously.
I'd like to see that you're taking it seriously. Or I feel, if I was going to be a bit of a prick about it, that I'd make it a...
public thing.
Well, I'd make it a complaint beyond you guys.
Yeah, I'll go above you.
So
For starters.
like the MTA and
Well, I'll go
the
to the head
brand.
office.
Certainly go to the head office.
Yeah.
And I might, if I was going to be serious about it, might even, if I wanted to be a real shit about it, write it out and go and do a stat deck.
Yeah.
And then go
And just mail it to them.
and
Or
mail it to them.
email it to them.
And then they'll go, if it actually gets in front of anyone, I'll find out who chief counsel is for the inside counsel is for the brand and send it to them and go, here's my thought. I'd like to see someone get a kick up the arse and see a note that, I'd like you to admit it, that yes,
Two separate locations.
we have been culpable at two separate locations. We have changed our policy. The people involved have been reprimanded, and we guarantee you that we've taken your complaint seriously, and we're going to guarantee we're going to try to kill our customers less.
Fucking hell. All right, cool.
So there you go. So that was my little story.
I don't have any stories.
You can't make this up. You were just telling me about one of the other bars that was finally going up for sale.
Yeah, so I was looking on
Probably leave names out of it, I guess.
Facebook. Yeah, one of the other has been put up. They've said that they're hanging up their apron and their shakers, cocktail shakers.
Well, all we can say on the how's the bar and the economy going is that
4 hours ago they put up a post on Facebook saying that over 6 years.
Oh, right. Well, I was just going to say that the weekend just passed was pretty shit.
Yeah.
But the weekend before was really good.
Yeah.
So we
Putting
haven't
the
had
venue up for sale shortly. Hope to see you all before we head off. Don't know where they're going.
This is the island of last resort. There's Antarctica next door.
South. I've seen two. I sent that to you. I've seen two other.
Is that a
euphemism?
A euphemism, yeah. Is that a,
So I saw two other venues that have closed. I think one might have changed hands, but I don't know because it kind of Facebook just stopped. The one out at Grindelwald.
Oh, yeah.
There's a cafe in there, and the people. The food looked
minor.
really good in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But they were South American.
They still have putt-putt golf. You put putt-putt golf into my head. There was putt-putt golf at Grindelwald.
Oh, God, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
that was
don't know
totally a
about
thing. So maybe we need a putt-putt golf outing.
Right. Yeah.
So we're going to SteamWorld on Saturday. That's going to be
Steamfest, thank you.
Steamfest. I stand corrected. And then we could swing by Wally World on the way home and play some putt-putt golf.
But yeah, so I've seen two other venues where, I think that one, I don't know, and then the other one's definitely closed and for sale, and both of them had in their little notice thing.
Both CAFEs.
Yeah, remember that was like a CAFE bar thing? It was weird on the main road. It was a weird position.
Which town?
Wellington Street there, that weird one on the left.
Let's use its name.
Parlour.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Because, we won't include names unless I have absolutely no idea which one. I didn't realise that was licensed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that had a liquor licence.
Yeah.
Because it was like a lunchtime, have a glass of wine with your quiche type thing.
Bless them, we tried to go there.
We did, and the menu was strange.
The menu was really weird.
We couldn't, it was small and there was nothing on it that I wanted to eat.
Yeah, but it was but that was the thing. It was like, there was no parking. So it was like a hipstery bar thing. So it was in a terrible spot. It wasn't clear what it did. When we got in there, the menu was more like a restaurant menu.
But like tapas or something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But a bit of that, and there was also
nighttime food as well.
It was all nighttime food. It's just
but we were in there during the daytime.
Can I get a club sandwich?
Yeah, I think we wanted something like salady or sandwichy or pasta or
meat,
something.
Salad, bread.
Whatever.
Something.
And a drink, and it was all strange.
It was real. It was like, wasn't there a souffle or something?
Yeah,
And
like it was real fancy.
fricassee of something.
But yeah, like little, anyway.
It was really weird. There was a few people in there when we went in there, wasn't there?
Yeah,
vaguely.
there was.
And I think it had, even though it was in a shit street and a shit spot, I think there was plenty behind it, like the hospital's sort of behind it, and there's plenty of houses and things behind it in South Launceston. So there's no reason it couldn't have eked out an existence, but it was just odd.
So that one and the other one, both of their sayonara messages had, we're heading south.
Heading south. Flying south for winter.
So I didn't, I was
wrong,
like, are they going to
wrong
Hobart?
hemisphere for that. Yeah.
So,
if you can't cut it in Lonnie, I don't know if you're going to cut it in Hobart.
No.
The thriving metropolis and hugely different place that it is. But
so anyway.
All right. Well, we wish them the very best of luck.
All of them. They were very welcoming. They came in and said hello to us.
Strange.
Who? These people?
Yeah, I still find the fact that they're all welcoming strange.
Yeah. Well, out of all the small bars, they were pretty good, most of them.
He's always been respectful.
Yes, as I say, they came in and had a drink at ours, and again, when we first arrived, we went and had a drink at everyone else's as well, and spread the love, and yeah, they've been fine. They've been chatting online.
Yeah.
But yeah, wherever they're going, heading off to, we wish them well. They got a baby now as well, so that must be interesting, trying to... Because I think they're like us, they're hands-on.
As we're leaving their name out of it and trying to be equally respectful.
Yes.
They've gone broke. I mean, they just have to have, bless them, allegedly. I don't know, but...
Well, they were doing really cheap specials too, and that's always a race to the bottom.
Yeah, they all do that. So, again, pro tip for a bar, it doesn't make any difference. Well, certainly for a small bar.
No.
If you've got a big pub, because I've certainly seen this at the pubs I used to drink at Picton.
Speaking of which, the Mersh was, I shouldn't say that, but the Mersh was open when I drove past, and the other one wasn't, because I was like, what day is it?
Oh, right. Well, can mention the Mersh whenever. But all I was going to say is, like, pubs that I've used to drink at, like the Zoo in Thelmere and things like that, yeah, it's happy hour in the afternoon, and we're having a badge draw, and there's a meat raffle, and there's plenty of people there because it's country New South Wales, and Bob's your uncle. Yeah. Fine. And it's a one-pub town, and fine. Yep, all that stuff makes sense. In a small bar, doesn't make any sense.
If you're trying to compete with other bars, why does lowering your prices help you?
No, so when we were to begin with,
we did happy hours.
Yeah, because the dead zone in our bar is from 7 to 8 o'clock. So we don't really do food.
Yeah,
and
so
that's when everyone's eating.
Yeah,
so everyone's off getting a feed. And we're not really an after-work bar either. No. Sometimes we are, but pretty much we're not. So it doesn't make any sense. And we've offered some cracking deals.
And made no difference whatsoever.
And people didn't even notice.
No.
They didn't care less. And
so
that's
we no longer do that.
Yes, no discounts. No super for you. So, yeah, again, we don't have experience in every small bar, but it all seems pretty similar. And when they start doing really stupid specials, like 2 espresso martinis for $10, and because I think that was one of them. Like, it's just
you can't make it for that.
You can't.
You're losing money.
You can't. You can't make it properly for that.
No.
That's
true.
That's break even price.
And we pride ourselves on making ours properly.
Yes, because we have to, because we charge like wounded bulls.
We do.
And that's why. Well, we did. We haven't really put the prices up on any of that, and I think a lot of other people have.
Right.
Because we've looked at some cocktail menus with our dearest cocktails $25, and at another one that we shall remain nameless, we had a drink in the other day. I saw cocktails in there dearer than $25.
Did we?
Yeah, they were scraping 30. A
Where
few
were
of them.
In Bris Vegas?
No, here.
Where were I?
We had a drink in a competing establishment on the day we left Bris Vegas.
Oh, yes, we did. Yes, I know where you are now.
So
right,
here
really?
we are without mentioning the name. It's something you might yell whilst parachuting.
Yeah, right. Okay. True. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And it was short pour too. And that's what pisses me off. I remember that too. I was like, because I really think...
Oh, did you watch him make it?
Oh, no, just the glass that was given to me wasn't full to the brim, and ours always is.
Right. So, yes, our bar, yes, it might be expensive and the owners might be polarising, but there is a meniscus on every cocktail served. Shots are... Those shot glasses filled all the way.
33 mils.
They're actually 33 mils. You were getting, they're getting filled right up, and I always yell at the because sometimes it's them being lazy. It's like
Yeah.
full pour.
Yeah.
Give them a bit more if necessary.
And I've had people, when I was in the bar on Friday night, so I haven't been there for a while, but when I was there, when I was pouring drinks, again, I'm a slosher when it comes to, I put the jigger in, and I've had numerous people go, oh, I like the way you pour that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm not going to fucking stand there and dribble it in, am I?
Whilst I still think our bar is pretty scabby with the amount of bottles that we have, we're not a place, because you've seen some other ones we've gone into here where you walk in and they've got like
a bottle of something.
They've got a 12-bottle bar. It's like,
no, we don't.
That sucks at home. If I walk into someone's house and they've only got a 12-bottle bar, it's like, oh, how are you? Are you okay? Do you need us to bring something for you?
But yeah, we haven't upped the price of our cocktails. We've upped our other prices a little bit just because things cost more now.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me started on cheese.
Yeah. Well, again, the bottle, like just in our time, kegs of beer are... That'd have to be 15% dearer.
At least.
20% dearer. So, well, let me put it this way. When we first started, which was, August 2020, I think there were kegs... Yeah, there were kegs of beer. The domestic beer was about $2.70 a keg.
Plus GST was like $2.97 or something.
Yeah, and now the domestic ones are like $3.50.
Yeah.
Plus. Because it was... Domestic ones were... I'm thinking $2.68 to my head.
I've got 2 emails from Lion so far about price ups.
Just finished with it. $2.68, and then the other one was like when you're buying the craft beer. It had a 3 in front of it. It was a low 3. I'm thinking $3.12, something like that ish. And yeah, because it was basically 150 lashes was $50 dearer than a Bogue's draft. And now all they're doing is sending you and we haven't heard anything from them.
No.
So
they're hopeless.
Here's a insider trading tip from the Day Drinking podcast. I don't know what's going on online, Nathan, but they were pretty switched on to begin with in terms of coming and visiting, and the tech would come. And...
That was before COVID?
No, that was during COVID.
Was it? Oh, we opened in COVID.
We opened in COVID. So, like, COVID was no excuse. They were pretty switched on and doing all that stuff.
So 2021,
and then with nothing.
Yeah, they've just gone silent. $2.98 for a draft or a red. That's unit value, not GST, bloody blah blah. And 150 lashes is $3.53, and that was 2021, so it's gone up more than that.
It's way more than that now, and that was more than what we started. Those other nut figures that I was talking about.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyone want to know the price of a keg? Ask me.
Comment below.
September 2020.
Oh yeah,
that's when we first started.
Let's see how wrong I am.
$2.82 and $3.38.
I was thinking $2.68, but anyway, so okay, I was off by $20.
Jesus, I bought 6 kegs of beer.
Yeah, look at you, money bucks.
God.
We're more popular then. They didn't know who we are. They started to get to know us. It's like, oh Christ.
Well, beer's not our... Well, we do a bit of beer, but not a huge amount. We've only got 4 taps.
Yeah.
And that's plenty. We should have 2.
2, 3 tops.
Yeah.
But
anyhow.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's probably... Is that about it? Anything else to talk about? So
no, nothing to report.
Tasmanian mechanics are shit at wheel nuts. It seems to be a trend.
Wow.
2 for 2.
Bloody hell.
And then local bars selling up,
stumps,
and there's just got to be more of that.
Yeah.
But because I would imagine you would have, so like I said before, we had a perfectly good weekend last weekend. This weekend just gone. If we had, even if we had 3 or 4 of them in a row, we'd be talking about shutting it down until things improve.
But as I said to you, this weekend coming is a long weekend in Tassie, so I think they're saving their pennies, perhaps.
That's what we thought. So that's another thing, again, if we're talking about bar stuff, very quickly before we go, is that, long weekends don't have the effect on bars that you think they do. Certainly not down here anyway. Everyone goes away on the long weekends. And I think it's improved, but there was definitely cases where we had long weekends and the bar
hello?
The bar took $50.
Yeah.
And it was like...
We're like, where is everyone?
And you go outside, there's no one there.
No.
So, anyway, anything else?
No.
All right, so off you go, my children. Beware of wolves and wheel nuts. Do tighten your nuts.
Tighten your nuts.
I'm nearly 50. They're getting a bit loose these days.
Nice.
All right. On that note,
good evening.
Enjoy the visual. Bye.